Oh, hang on a second. We got Moto, which, by the way, Moto just won a trip to Florida in March, which I can't wait.
One pair of underwear is enough for the whole trip? If you say so. All right. Thanks, Real GP. Love you too. Bye. Hey, AJ and Moto Academy, Moto here. We got 41 days left until the Daytona trip. What's some advice for somebody that hasn't been on a plane since they were 10 years old? Say bye, Titus.
Great question. And yes, Moto, one pair of underwear for the whole trip should suffice. So shout out Real GP for the accurate advice there. Real GP won a trip. Didn't he? Yeah, Salt Lake City. Man, we've done so many of these now with so many epic people, so many OGs inside of the app. And now, especially after you win a trip, like you are locked in as an OG. Even Brian, who sent in one of the previous questions. We've got a lot of trip winners that are sending in questions. Maybe that's what it takes to get more questions here. We just got to fly people in. Moto, what was this question? Advice for somebody that hasn't been on a plane since they were 10?
Daytona trip. What's some advice for somebody that hasn't been on a plane since they were 10?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you some practical advice here. So let's see. You're bringing that big gear bag. So you're going to check that big gear bag. Number one, make sure that it's not over 50 pounds. If it's over 50 pounds, when you get to the airport, it's going to cost you a fortune, or you're going to be sitting there trying to pull things out of that big gear bag and try to put them into another carry-on bag. Super annoying. So if you have a scale at home, weigh that bag, make sure it weighs 50 pounds or less. Also, bring assuming that big gear bag's for your gear, bring another carry-on size bag with all of your casual clothes, all of that good stuff in it. Beware that if you're not pre-check and you put your toiletries into that carry-on bag that's now going to go through security, you're probably now going to have the issue where they take out your thing and they're going through your toiletry bag, and they're probably going to steal your toothpaste and some other thing your shampoo that you spent too much money on. And that gets annoying too. For pre-check, sometimes they'll do that, but very rare. It seems like my bag always goes through with my toiletries in it and I'm fine. But so I have that carry-on. Another strategy here is when I get to the gate, when I'm ready to get onto the plane, I do this weird thing where I always get on last. And honestly, I have whatchamacallit with most of the airlines to where I'm almost always first class on like 4 different airlines because in the past years, I've flown so much. I just get on last no matter what. And if you get on last, or if you get on almost last, you're probably not going to have overhead space for that bag, but I don't like to put it up there anyway, because guess what I do? That flight ends, I get up, I walk off the plane, I leave my bag on the plane because I forget. I can't remember that. So I check it through. People would argue this logic. Some people get pissed off badly when they have to check through the bag, but I'm in no rush. Lose it, I don't care. Take my bag, check it through. And by check it through, what that means is they won't bring it and put it back on the jet bridge when you get off the plane. It will get checked through to baggage claim. So then you just have your big bag and your roller bag waiting for you at baggage claim. You don't have to worry about remembering that thing up in the overhead or rolling it through the airport. That's my strategy. A couple other strategies would be, don't drink the water on a plane. They're usually going to give you like Dasani or some really, really crappy water that's just going to make you feel more dehydrated. What I do is Allie always tells me to bring my bottle. I don't do that. Too heavy, too much to remember. I get to the airport and I try to find the best water that they have. Usually airports have Evian water, which is really good spring water. Get a big bottle of the Evian water. Bring some Element with you, mix your Element in there. And then when you run out of the Evian water, you can fill it up in where the water fountain is, where it has the vertical little water bottle filler thing. Because I think that water is okay to drink as well. Don't know if that's true or not. Because staying hydrated on the flight is a big one. You're coming from New York to South Florida, so it's probably going to take less than 2.5 hours on the plane. But you still could end up dehydrated, so definitely stay hydrated. I prefer, and this could be total, a lot of this could be totally backwards to how people travel, but I also travel in like the least stressful mindset ever, to where like my flight gets canceled, who cares? Stuck here, who cares? I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. Things happen, whatever. So when I prefer to sit at a window seat, some people like this depends. This can depend. The aisle is nice because if you have to go to the bathroom a lot, if you're that type of dude, then first of all, mix more element into your water so that way you don't have to pee all the time. But the aisle could be helpful. I like to sit at the window because even though I fly all the time, I like to look out the window. You're in a freaking tube flying through the air. That's pretty amazing. And a lot of times you're flying over really scenic, nice stuff. The last flight I was on, I was flying over the Rocky Mountains. It was beautiful. And what's crazy is that there's 150 other people in that plane that couldn't give a crap over that amazing view. I don't know. I don't take that for granted. I think it's really cool. So I like to look out the window. What else? What else? I think that's it. That couldn't be it. There's got to be other strategies and tips I could give you. That's all I can think of. That's all I can think of. Maybe bring a snack, because if you're connecting and your connection's short, there's nothing worse than like landing, being completely starving, but not having enough time to do anything about it, and then having to rush to the next plane, and then you just starve yourself for longer. So I bring usually like dried mango. I bring the beef sticks, the Chomps beef sticks. I think are fairly healthy for you. Those are a good option. And usually one beef stick will kind of like satiate me for long enough to where I don't feel like I'm starving. Yeah, Moto, pumped to have you. One pair of underwear. See you in a month. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, make sure you go download them on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to watch full episodes or be a person that sends in your own video submission, go to club.themotoacademy.com and subscribe to join the Moto Academy family today.